What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? It's that DJ Phase. Listen, nobody answered the challenge. We already knew that, but nobody answered the challenge. So we're celebrating, and the next thing, the next big celebration is going to be July 27th, my fourth annual tribute to Disco King Mario event, and it's going to be nice. Like I said before, it's going to have a lot of what up, Las Vegas. It's going to have a bunch of giveaways, and we got a lot of talent coming this year. I started this space. Let me say this, give me some shout outs first. Shout out to Jersey Devos. Shout out to Kareem Smith. What up? We in here is Jersey. Kareem Smith, what up, Las Vegas? Riri, my girl. Peace Phase JG, King of all man. Okay, peace, peace, peace. All right, people. So I got a lot of information to give today about this actual challenge. We also the Cash App is on the side right there. Let me throw up that banner real quick, and so here we're gonna do that. Put that up there. Okay, and I'm just getting learning how to do this, all of this stuff. Thanks to Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar put me on. He put me on and does peace. Phase, nobody answered because they have no facts. Reaction, yes, yes, yes. Hey everyone, China Black, peace, peace. China Black, yes, yes. They have no answer and they have no facts. So we're going to go into the facts that they don't have today. Okay, we're going to do that. Lord Jamar is on his way doing something, and but he's going to come on probably later on. He's getting ready. He has a show tonight at Sony Hall with Diamond D, so that's going to be really really fat joint tonight. Derek Four likes. Peace, peace, Derek. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. So Lord Jamar gave out this challenge, and the challenge was for Busta Rhymes, Fat Joe, um, it was Busta Rhymes, Fat Joe, Pete Rock, Crazy Legs. There's a couple other people that he asked. Oh, KRS-One, KRS-One. Okay, can't forget KRS-One. Okay, so now they had a week to answer this challenge, but they didn't. They didn't answer it, and a lot of people are telling us the reason why they didn't answer this challenge is because they don't have facts. Now, this is the crazy thing that I find very interesting. So KRS-One, there's a video going around where KRS-One says that anybody that doesn't say that Puerto Ricans were there in the creation of hip hop are stupid. Now, that's a really bold statement. That's a really, really bold statement. And for a statement like that, you would have been there. The one of the things that I know personally is that hip hop started in '71, and I can definitely say that that's when it started because that's when I saw what they call the elements of hip hop. That's when I saw that. Okay, so once that happened, once I saw that happening, then I knew I could actually virtually say that that's what hip hop was. Okay, okay, KRS wasn't there. Peace, cool DJ Phase. Yes, Riri says KRS. Right, so I remember it. So let's go back to the elements, okay, that they call the elements. So you have DJing, you have MCing, you have dancing, and they have, I think the other one is graffiti. Okay, they have graffiti. Those were supposed to be the elements. So we know that there's way more elements than that. There's way more elements than that. Okay. One of the other elements that they don't have is fashion. That's a definite element because we had to dress a certain way to be considered hip hop. Snapping. Snapping is a form of, some people call it the dozens, but it's a form of commenting each other or whatever, and so that's a form. Graffiti, let me give you the reason why graffiti was entered into the elements. So before, in the beginning, in 1971 and 72 and 73 and 74, there were no such things really basically as the flyer. Okay, because at that time, it wasn't indoors. It was mostly park jams. It was mostly outside. So there was no real indoor situations. So once the flyers did come in existence, the people, Phase Two, Buddy Esquire, all of these people were actually doing graffiti. They were graffiti artists. And so the beginning, the first flyers, whatever, would have graffiti writing. It would just be writing. It wouldn't even be with the stencil and all of this other stuff that had come in after it started getting popular. So that graffiti writing was then added on to the elements, and that's where the graffiti starts. That's because a lot of people now say, what does graffiti have to do with it?" And they're right, because it's the graffiti started with the flyers, and so now they don't even use handwritten flyers anymore. So should they take it out of the actual element? Should they? It's up to the people. So if you still say that you want to be a part of the graffiti element, then that's up to you. But that's where the actual graffiti came in. So what I want to do today is I want to go over some of the elements. I want to go over some of the elements. So that was one thing, the graffiti. Now, fashion. Let's go with fashion. That's an element that's rarely talked about. So in the beginning, the fashion was mainly the things that were gonna come out. So it wasn't necessarily things that were actually out. It were things that were going to come out. So if you remember, some of you might not remember, but if you remember back in the days, if you had something that was unique, you were considered the cool. So just like with the leather jackets, a lot of people started wearing the leather jackets because of Fonzie on Happy Days. And so people had the leather jacket up. A lot of it before Fonzie came out, we were wearing leather jackets because of the black exploitation movies like King of Harlem, Black Caesar, Hell Up in Harlem, Cotton Comes to Harlem, all of these Foxy Brown, all of these black exploitation movies. When they came to the hood, of course we wanted to emulate the pimps and the drug dealers and all of that. So that's when the leathers came out. So once that came out, then everybody started wearing leathers and stuff. So the fashion always was something that was innovating. And so it would go from one point to another. The shoes, the sneakers, the slacks, the jeans, the shirts, the sweaters, the coats, the jackets, the hats. So these things were fashion, and the better styles that you had, the more cool you were inside of hip hop. You see what I'm saying? So you have to get my book to know exactly what the hit the button, share this link, subscribe. Oh wow, okay, cool. I don't know how to do that, but that'll be cool. Yes, hit the share button and share this link. Okay, so now back to what I was saying about the fashion. So remember, what this whole challenge was because at this point, especially Jamar and I, we're feeling like a lot of different nationalities are coming to claim what we've created. And when I say we, I can definitely, without a doubt, say I was one of the peoples that actually created this $1 trillion business that they call hip hop. So when we were like going back to the fashion, yes, someone Derek Fowler says the leather bomber, right? Okay, so now before even leather bombers, we had what we call the the flight jacket before the bomber, and the flight jacket didn't have the fur, so it was just the leather with the thing. And before that, we had a leather quarter field, and the leather quarter field did have fur. It had the fur, and before, when we were getting it, it was coming from AJ Lester, and it had a mink type of fur on the collar. And so, like I said, back to that. So the fashion part of it was basically showing off your style. It was showing off what you did. So, and we were showing, the different crews, or it wasn't even crews, but the other people that were starting up to become crews. We were showing them exactly what we were doing. Okay, so now going back to the nationality. So Lord Jamar and I feel like that these other nationalities, Puerto Ricans mainly and Jamaicans, are coming and saying that they were 50-50. And before that, they're even saying that without them, that it would be no hip hop, which is just totally false, because without us, there would be no hip hop. Point blank, period. If you take Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans out of the equation, there'll still be hip hop. We'll still be there. We'll still be rocking and doing shows and parties and stuff like that. So it would be, without them, it would be still hip hop. But if you take us out of the equation, there will be no hip hop. Okay, so that's what this challenge is basically about. It's basically about saying, listen, we're not going to take you able to just come and take what we've created and say for your own, knock us out the way and say you did it, because they weren't there. I can really say this without a doubt, that when the creation of hip hop started, when it started, right? At that time in 1971, right? Puerto Ricans were against us. They were against us. That's why when you hear the beginnings of hip hop, you'll never hear a Spanish song. You'll never hear that. Okay, so they didn't bring the music. Okay, so that's one thing they didn't bring. Let's go to the DJ skills, right? What DJ skills did they bring? They didn't. Even the sound systems, they weren't known to have sound systems or anything. So what sound systems did they bring? Let's go back to the MCing. The MCs that are even known to today, was started in 77, 78. Okay, so Puerto Ricans were not gonna come and get on our set. Now this is funny. If you watch Michael Wayne TV, the culture of hip hop since '71, we did years ago. We did a video with me and Green Eyes Stanley, Green Eyes, right? And we were right. We hadn't seen each other in like 40 years or more. And when we came together, the one thing that we collectively remembered at the same time was when we were setting up in the park or when we were playing our music, the Puerto Ricans were on the side of the park and they were playing bongos. They were playing their Spanish music bongos. And that's what they were doing. They were doing this bongos and we were doing our music. So we had to turn our music up so they couldn't even, they'd be washed out. And then 9 times out of 10, they'll move. They'll just move and leave from there because our music will be, and then plus we had the people coming. So they would leave. They would leave the show. They would leave the park that we were playing at. So that's why I don't understand how could it be 50-50 when they weren't even there. Another thing, okay, so now let's go to dancing. Okay, and I said this on the other live that me and Lord Jamar did. So the dancing part of it, and one thing you have to remember, like, and I'm talking about 71, 72, 73. Okay, at that time, people, when I say people, meaning the Puerto Ricans at that time, when I say they didn't want to be around us or anything, they would never come because you remember, they didn't have a whole bunch of them to come at the same time because that's how they roll now. But before, it would be 1 or 2 or 3 of them. Now, if it's 1 or 2 or 3 of them, they're not going to come in a circle around us and dance. They're just not going to do that. And that was the part of it doing. So none of the moves that the Puerto Ricans do till this day are the moves that we were doing. Okay, and so one thing you have to remember and know this, because this is 100% true. When a ballerina dances, she's dancing to the music. Her moves collate with the music and how she swings and how she does that with the music. Just like with us, we chose break beats, breaks, so that we could dance to the music. Okay, so each foot, each arm, our neck movement, our shoulder movement coincide with the break, with that beat. That's what we did. We coincide with that break, with that beat. And so really, to be honest, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people can do that. A lot of, if you look, I watch Seinfeld sometimes, right? And there's a episode where Elaine is in there and she's trying to do the beat, and it's like, now that's common. That's common for them, and so I didn't understand where they could even say that they actually created some type of dance or anything to us. Okay, so now let's say what they're doing. So what they're doing is, because just like the Crazy Legs and so on and so on, Rocksteady Crew and everything, they came into it later. And when they came into it, what they did at that time was what they could do. Okay, they couldn't do what we were doing, so they did what they could do. Now, this is the part. When they did what they were doing, when we talk about the old school, they only talk about the time that they came into it. You feel me? You get what I'm saying? They talk about the time that they actually came into the hip hop, as you want to say. And so the time that they came in, which was 77, and I'll even go back and say 76 or whatever, 77, 78, because basically they were really known when the movies came out, Wild Style, Beat Street, which have Puerto Rican writers, and so they made sure that the star of these movies was Puerto Rican, right? And so now, if you look at all the pictures and you look at all the things, you'll see one or two, three, maybe four Puerto Ricans, and the rest are us, okay? And so now, listen, think about this too. There's a big, famous video that went all viral. It went all around where Fat Joe, as a young kid, he was at this hip hop party. Now, he looked so strange to be in this hip hop party, him by himself. And all you saw was this face that was inside of all of us. And so that's where, the problem comes, because if you notice, okay, where are the 50-50 that you're talking about? Where are the parts where they said that it was us and them? There's no, that's not happening. So when you say bring in the receipts, they can't bring those receipts. I don't. I listen. If anybody that knows me, I love to snap. I love to do it. And listen, if you snap on me, I'm gonna laugh if it's funny. But if it's not funny, then I'm just going to keep on snapping more and more and more. But even if it's funny, I'm going to keep on snapping. And so one of the things that I remember, and this is my remembrance. This is what I remember. And so I remember when I started seeing Puerto Ricans come to New York, and we were kind of introduced to Puerto Ricans. They couldn't dress. They couldn't. Their hair was stringy, just like the what I call pink people, and so that was different to us. They were, we were used to seeing the nappy head people, and us was with us, and with our afros and everything. We started seeing, so at that time, because we would snap on them, because we would, one of the famous, this is Puerto Rican snap. All right. So if you ask if you're younger than us, and you ask your parents, they'll tell you about this snap. But this was one of the favorite snaps that all over people would say, and it goes, the flood is over, the land is dry. Why you wear your pants so high? So we would say that, and people would just know what you're talking about. They know that you're talking about a Puerto Rican with high waters on. Okay, so now imagine that. Imagine being a younger person and then find out that you come outside with high waters and somebody's snapping on you. Okay, so now when that happened, imagine how they felt about us. They could go on this block and it would happen. They could go on that block, this neighborhood, and it would happen. So they didn't like us. They didn't like us. And so that's the part where I don't understand. How could it be 50-50? Okay, listen, I'm gonna actually read some of these comments, because these comments are coming in really quick. Okay, everything is everything. Y'all may forget, but I still love y'all. It's all good. Okay, that's everything is everything. Okay, hey, Mr. Ali, what's up, Ali? So he says transatlantic slave trade database 388,000 came. Uh-oh, where did it go? I can't. Ali, I'm new to this, so I don't know. Okay, 38,000 came directly from Africa, another 75,000 from the Caribbean. Right. Okay, so yes, so once they, and remember, this is one thing you have to remember. When they came here, when Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans came here, the Puerto Ricans felt like they were going to be a part of the big pink America. Okay, so they thought that when they got here, that they were going to actually be welcomed by the pink people and they were going to be a part of the pink people. So now, in their minds, automatically in their minds, they were against us. Right, they were against us because they were going to come and they were going to be like, listen, I'm not black or I'm not brown, I am actually pink. And that's what they thought in their head. So when they got here and they found out that the people rejected them, and not only did they reject them, but they put them in the hoods with us. So now they had no other choice but to try their best to blend in with us. And that's just facts. That's just 100% facts. You can't change that. You can't go back in history and change that. Okay, everything is everything. That's cute. How you think we don't know better? Okay, I don't know what that means, but that's China Black. Okay, Melanated Warrior. Herc used to dress like that too until he started emulating us. You're 100% correct. Now, this is the funny part of what you just said right now, because I don't like to talk about people. I like to bring up people's names. But Herc, when he got here, all right, he had his father's equipment. His father's a DJ. And so he had his father's equipment. And so when he got here, he had no style. He had those high waters that you're talking about, and he didn't have socks, and he wore the shoes. Now I'm gonna tell you how that happened. I'm gonna tell you how this happened. How this happened was when they were in Jamaica, when they were in Puerto Rico, especially in the 70s. There was really no sense of fashion because they didn't have the stores to do that. A lot of these countries sold their own clothes. They made their own clothes, and that goes back to centuries. It goes back. And so they made their own clothes. So it was nothing for someone to get some material and make a pants or make a dress or anything. And so they were making their clothes. So now when the people in the States had family or somebody that was in Puerto Rico or somebody that was in Jamaica, they would send the older clothes that they had that they were getting rid of anyway, and they would send them to Puerto Rico and Jamaica. So now the clothes that were sent there were usually clothes that were out of style here, because if they were in style, they wouldn't want to give them to somebody else. They want to keep them and wear them for themselves. So they wore these out of style clothes. Now, in Puerto Rico and Jamaica, they were happy to get these clothes from the States. So now these clothes, like just say for instance, it was a pair of slacks, all right, or a dress or something. So they're wearing these things constantly, like every single day, they're wearing these things. So now when they're younger, of course, they're growing. And so when they're growing, of course, the pants are getting higher. And those are what makes high waters. Okay, so now when they come to America, right? They're wearing these high waters. They're wearing these patent leather shoes that someone said, "Oh, I'm not wearing these no more. Send them to Puerto Rico. Send them to Jamaica." And so they're wearing those type of things. And that's what people just don't understand. That's the reason why they came the way they came and they dressed the way they did. And that's why we shouldn't have, we shouldn't have, but we were kids. We didn't understand that, that will hurt their feelings or whatever, because we were used to doing it to each other. We were used to snapping on each other. Everybody knows they got a one particular snap on one particular person. That's just it. That's how we grew up. And so now when we did that, and these people actually started seeing us snapping on them, they didn't like us at all. Okay, let's go to Jeffrey Hall. Everything is everything. Hip hop is 100% Black American. Okay, everything is every hot tub. Tony, a simple Google search, bro. Okay, I guess they were having a conversation with themselves. Okay, God made Black people for Himself. He don't let other people influence them or take other what He instilled in them. No one influenced Black people. What they got comes from heaven. Right. Right. And I'm with you on that. I'm with you with that. Opal Ivy, hi phase. Okay. Hi, how are you? In Indigos, there was no trust to foreigners. Phase, you ever heard about TBB? Of course I've heard about TBB. JG. Now, and I actually, if you look in my things, I went and I played one of their anniversaries. I DJ for one of their anniversaries, and I brought a lot of beats to them. Those groups that you're talking about, those groups came in the later part of the 70s. Those groups did not start in the rock steady and all of. They started, and they really became, I guess you want to say, known in the 80s. Okay, so really after the Wild Style and after the Beat Street, those crews actually came. Now, this is the catch with what you just brought up. So 1971 was the creation, right? So we're going on the floor, we're playing break beats, we're MCing, and let me tell you, this is in my book as well. When the mic came, the MC came, it wasn't rhymes. Sometimes it was rhymes, but it was basically to brag, boast, and snap. That's what it was. We would see somebody outside or walking by, and we would say, "Yo, Johnny, what's up? Going down? Look at Johnny rocking cool in his whatever." Okay, so those were announcements. We would say stuff like, "Oh, your mother's so fat," da 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 da, stuff like that on somebody, or man, look at somebody got on high waters. Wonder who that is, or just snaps and stuff. So the MC, the DJ was doing that. Now you have to find out what the DJ was doing, and the only way you'll find that out is in my book. So when my book drops, is coming out soon, pick up the book and we'll tell you exactly what the DJ was doing. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to some of these comments. There's a lot of comments. Trying back. Okay. Okay. Everything is everything. You do know nobody believes your lies, right? Okay, I guess he must have lies. J Reaction said LOL. Opal Ivy says B1 salute melanated warrior, China Black. Okay, Jay, they were high waters and marshmallows. Okay, no. Nope, nope, no, 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 no. Jay, I have to stop you on that. You cannot wear high waters and marshmallows. When marshmallows came out, we had bell bottoms. And some bell bottoms would actually go over your shoe. So it would cover your whole shoe. So the only way that they could see that they were marshmallows is when you walked. Okay, so the bell bottoms actually went over your shoe. Okay, over your shoe. Hey, I gotta stop to this. Let me just say this one thing. So hold on. We have to, let me put this up on the screen. Okay, so that's the Cash App. Now, so what we're doing with this Cash App thing is that July 27th in Rosedale Park is going to be my fourth annual tribute to Disco King Mario event. Now, at this event, what we do is we get clothes, we get school supplies, and we get food and haircuts for the children. And anybody else that needs clothes or food can come and get this. So, what we're doing is we're taking donations. It doesn't have to be $1 million, it can be from $1 to $1 million or whatever you got. And so, this helps to purchase these clothes. This helps to purchase these book bags and these school supplies. This helps to give the food to, because we're going to have hot food. We're going to have food that you can take and take with you. And this helps the community. All right. This helps the community. So I'm going to leave that Cash App there for a while. And I'm going to actually go back to this. And okay, D-Dog culture. What about the PRs who were black with afros? Good question. You have to realize that a lot of them did not have it natural like that. What they had to do was get their hair treated and blowed out for that to happen, for them to have the afros. And usually those ones that had those afros, they didn't want to identify as being Puerto Rican. They did not. They wanted to identify as being us. And so a lot of them actually claimed that they were us. I had two friends like that. And every time, somebody would say, "Are you Puerto Rican?" He would say, "No, I'm not Puerto Rican. My dad is black." That's what they say. They say, "My dad is black. My dad is black. And my mom's is half black and half Puerto Rican." And so they would never say that they're Puerto Rican. And that happens a lot. That was happening a lot back then, that we didn't even know that they were Puerto Rican. One of my favorite stories is that one of the DJs that was basically with us after, his parents lived in Puerto Rico, and we never saw his parents before. And so one day we were all outside, and his mom came from Puerto Rico, and she was talking to him in Spanish, and we all looked like, "Who is that? Who is that?" And it was his mom. It was his mother. She was Puerto Rican, and that's how we found out that he was Puerto Rican. Okay, let's go back to DD. There were from rural, remote, isolated countries. Of course, they didn't know how to dress. Hand me downs were always sent to them. Of course, Dee Dee. Of course, Dee Dee. And that's exactly what I was explaining to everybody, that a lot of the things that were sent to them were hand me downs. They were actual hand me downs. So it was hard for them to actually get the new stuff that was here. So that's the part about fashion. Okay. Ephraim from the Bronx. My man said Puerto Ricans had no clothes and made their own clothes. Laughing my ass off. My man, you are wrong. Okay. So what you do, Ephraim from the Bronx, you get pictures of the 70s, not the 80s, not when things are. You show me pictures of the styles and stuff from Puerto Ricans, because I take it you said Puerto Ricans. So you show me pictures of the styles that they were wearing 71, 72, 73. '93, because we're talking about the creation of hip hop. So you show me those pictures, okay? Put them up, send them to me, let me know, and see where those pictures are. And I guarantee you, you're not going to come up with one picture, one picture that shows that they were doing the styles that we were doing in 1971. Okay, sure it wasn't. Okay, that's still happening today. Smiley's 116. Okay, D Dog and okay. Jux 888, Salvation Army clothes. Exactly. Right, right. Okay. Everything and everything. Slick Rick was fly as F that black British Jamaican style of wallabies and Congos, is Kangos, had hip hop fly. Okay, so now remember when Slick Rick came in. Okay, that's number one, and his style was English. It was from England. It wasn't how you say our English. It wasn't. It was from England, and even that with that, me and Lord Jamar was talking about it the other day. Nobody copied that. There was only one other person that was down with him, was Dana Dane, and Dana had the English accent, but nobody copied that. The Wallabies and stuff, we already discussed that. The Wallabies and the desert boots and the rips and stuff, those were our styles from long time ago, like in the 70s. So that's where it happened. The Kangos, of course, those were even older than that. They had the DCs, they had the Kangos, they had the Stetson hats and stuff like that. And these are in the 60s. This is in the 60s. Okay. Malik Bey. Read one. When Rocks Cry Out by Horace Butler. Two, The Negro Question, Part 7 and 8 by Lee Cummings. We was also the original 13 colonies. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. We were definitely part right. Okay, peace and love to DJ FH. Hey, peace, Dawn. How are you? Dawn Money. Okay. Let's go. Yo, Faze, David Trapp says, Yo, Faze, I was going at it on this platform called Panda Chop that keeps the 50-50 people on his platform. I told we won't he have you on this platform. He said that he has tried, but he can't get you. On Panda Chop, uh hey, if he sends me a request or whatever, hey, if I look at his channel and I see something on his channel, I'm sure I wouldn't mind to actually go on his channel. Not a problem. Anybody who wants to know the real education about hip hop, I'm always willing to share that with. Okay, Dean Porter. Right. And so if we don't teach our history, I don't know where I just blacked out like that, but if we don't teach our history now, then you're right. Someone is going to be able to come, take, and just get our things. Now, listen, if you donate, what I need you to do, because I don't have it set up to where it goes straight to Facebook, but if you donate, I would love for you to put your name and that you donated in the comments. Please put your name in the comment and say that you've donated. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, at everything is Dante Ross or but Dr. Cologne. Okay, we won't go there, but okay, I totally understand. Okay, I totally understand that. Let me see. Let's go back down. Uh, okay, let's go to Big Lou. Big Lou 82. Slick Wrist is on footage admitting where he got his whole swag from. Do y'all live in the Stone Age or something to where they don't have footage of you? Okay, so I don't know what that's all about. Really don't know what that's all about. But let's say this. In the creation of hip hop, I'll tell all you guys this so you would know. We already covered this. And in the creation of hip hop, you have to understand it was kids. And my crew had seven kids that range from the age of 8 to I think 12. Okay, seven of us, and we didn't have any cameras. We didn't have, especially a video camera. Most people, most families didn't have video cameras. You'll see video cameras in the Leave It to Beaver families and stuff like that, but we didn't have that. Even though we had other things like Cadillacs and stuff like that, it was rare for us to get actual video cameras. So that's why there's no a lot of footage, because remember, we would have been filming ourselves. Number two thing is, when you video something, usually it's somebody that's come that is into photography or whatever back in those days, and they actually have the equipment. And back then, if you're a kid, you're not going to waste your money on video equipment. If anything, you're going to waste your money on the trends and the things that you're interested in. And so a lot of us at kids were not interested in doing photography. So that's why the actual footage is not there. Okay, Ephraim BX. Puerto Ricans been here, grandparents been here since the 1930s, parents born here in the 1940s. What is the 1970s about? Okay, say it again to let you understand it. In the 40s, yes, there were a couple of Puerto Ricans here, Puerto Ricans there, or whatever. But in the 40s, what music were they bringing? What music were they bringing or dancing to or doing in the 40s? In the 40s, they had to learn the American way. A lot of them had to learn how to speak English. A lot of them had to learn how the dressing was, the fashion was. A lot of them had to learn what we were doing as on a everyday basis. So they had to learn that. They had to adapt that, because you got to remember this, okay? And so the people that say, okay, that they were here in the 1930s and the 1940s, those people that were here in the 1930s and 1940s, did they come to Puerto Rico? When they got over here, was this Puerto Rico? No, it was not. It was not. So they had to adjust to what we were doing here in America. That's just it. That's just it. You can't, there's nothing that you can say. You can read a book, you can do all of that and say that, yes, they had to learn English. They had to learn what we were doing here. Okay, so that's it. So you bring up the 1930s and the 1940s. No, but first of all, I didn't say that they were. I started seeing Puerto Ricans coming in sporadically in 1970, 71. Okay, that's when I saw it. Okay, so okay. Uh, Hot Tub Tony 71. Phase, you need some moderators because these tethers trolling hard in here. Yes, I gotta. You know what? I'm gonna let Riri. She's gonna moderate for me from now on. So that's who's gonna do it for me, and she's gonna take care of that for me. So thank you for that, hot tub, Tony. Okay, Try Media. Please, can you send us your booking information? We want to honor you, legend. Oh, definitely, Try Media. definitely. That's without a doubt. King of all men, it says, Opal, many of them actually identify as Caucasian, believe it or not. True. That's 100% true. China Black, everything. How can someone prove what they were not around? Show pics of y'all in 1970. Exactly. I already said that, China, and they won't. They will never do that. They'll never show those pictures. And I have some pictures. So I will be on the next live. I will be showing pictures. Oh, wow. Time has went that quick. I cannot believe it's 52 minutes and 15 seconds already. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna wind it down now. Thank you guys for coming. Please subscribe and share to my channel. Tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow I will be going on and I will be bringing Lord Jamar back with me. And we're going to hit all of this. We're going to hit all the we came in 1930s and 40s. We're going to hit all of that, okay, tomorrow. So what I want you to do is don't forget to donate for the July 27th Disco Phase 4th Annual Tribute to Disco King Mario. Then tomorrow, we're definitely going to talk about Mario and what his contributions are. And we're going to talk about how Herc did everything that he saw Mario did, from the sheepskin to the hat. When before Herc did things, anybody will tell you, he used to wear some cowboy boots. He thought he was John Wayne, and that's no lie. He used to wear cowboy boots, and they were pointy. Everybody used to say those were roach killers because they could get into the corner. They could get into the corner and kill that roach. Okay, so we're gonna definitely speak on that tomorrow. And listen, you guys have been great. Don't forget to share and subscribe to DJ Phase. I love you guys. Peace.